Lieutenant Commander Noah Winters stood tall in his crisp Navy uniform. Today was an important day. His ship, the USN Horizon, was meeting aliens for the first time. Not just any aliens, but the Valerians. They had contacted Earth 3 months ago. Noah's job was simple: keep the human diplomats safe. He was not supposed to talk to the aliens. He was not supposed to be noticed. He was just security. The meeting room was large and bright. Half was set up in human style with straight tables and chairs. The other half had strange curved furniture that seemed to float. Noah took his position by the wall and waited. When the Valerians entered, Noah had to work hard not to stare. They were almost human-shaped, but very different. They were tall, much taller than most humans. Their skin was like nothing Noah had ever seen. It glowed and changed colors, shifting between blues and greens as they moved. But their eyes were what really caught Noah's attention. They weren't just one color. They swirled with tiny lights like someone had captured entire galaxies and put them in their eyes. 5 Valerians entered first. They wore what looked like armor that moved with them like it was alive. These were guards, Noah could tell. They moved the same way his security team did, scanning for threats, positioning themselves at key points. Then she walked in. Noah knew right away she was important. Her clothes were different, flowing and decorated with strange symbols that glowed. The other Valerians bowed their heads slightly as she passed. She was royalty. The briefing had mentioned a princess would attend, but hadn't prepared Noah for how she would look. Her skin was shifting through purples and blues, more vivid than the others. Her galaxy eyes seemed to take in everything at once, and then for just a moment those eyes met Noah's. He quickly looked away. It wasn't his place to make eye contact with alien royalty, but a strange feeling stayed with him, like an electric current had passed between them. "Welcome to Neutral Station Alpha," said Ambassador Claire Wu. "We are honored by your presence." Princess Zelia, the princess, nodded. Her voice was musical when she spoke, like chimes in the wind. "The honor is mutual. My people look forward to friendship with humans." The meeting began. Noah tried to focus on his job, watching for threats, but he kept noticing the princess looking his way. Each time their eyes met, her skin would ripple with new colors, curious blues and interested purples. It was against protocol, but Noah couldn't help glancing back. The diplomats talked about trade, about sharing knowledge, about the differences between their worlds. The Valerians were peaceful but had technology far beyond Earth's. They could fold space to travel between stars in days instead of years. They had cures for diseases humans still struggled with. They offered to share, asking only for cultural exchange in return. "Your art, your music, your stories," Princess Zelia explained. "These are treasures to us. We have technology, but humans have passion we find fascinating." Things were going well. Too well, maybe. Noah had been in enough dangerous situations to develop good instincts. And something felt wrong. He scanned the room again, more carefully. That's when he noticed a small device under a table. It hadn't been there during the security sweep. His training kicked in immediately. "Ambassador," he said quietly into his comm, "we may have a situation." Before anyone could respond, alarms blared through the station. Red lights flashed. A computerized voice spoke. "Security breach detected. Unauthorized devices located. All personnel evacuate immediately." The room erupted in chaos. The Earth diplomats started moving toward the exit. The Valerian guards surrounded their princess. But Noah was watching the device under the table. A small screen on it was counting down. 4, 3. Noah didn't think. He just moved. Later, he wouldn't be able to explain why he ran toward the alien princess instead of his own people. It was like his body made the decision before his mind could catch up. The princess's guards had been pushed back by the crowd. She stood alone, her skin pale white with fear as the countdown reached its final seconds. "Your Highness," Noah shouted. He lunged forward, tackling her just as the device hit 0. The explosion was deafening. Noah felt heat and pain tear across his back as he covered the princess with his body. Shrapnel ripped through his uniform. The force threw them both forward. As they hit the ground, Noah looked down at the princess beneath him. Her skin had turned a deep, sad blue. Those galaxy eyes were wide with shock. She said something in her language that he couldn't understand. Noah tried to respond, but no words came. The edges of his vision grew dark. He was vaguely aware of more Valerians appearing, of strange hands lifting him. of voices speaking in that musical alien language. His last thought before darkness took him was simple. At least she's safe. Noah didn't expect to wake up again. The pain in his back told him he was still alive, though. Slowly, he opened his eyes. He wasn't in a human medical bay. The ceiling above him seemed to be made of living crystal that caught light and broke it into patterns like stars. The bed beneath him conformed perfectly to his body. Strange machines hummed nearby, their purpose unknown. As his vision cleared, Noah realized he wasn't alone. Standing in a perfect circle around his bed were 7 tall Valerian females. Each wore ceremonial armor that seemed to glow from within. Each had a hand resting on what looked like a weapon at their hip. Their skin rippled with cautious yellow and orange colors. The royal guard, the princess's personal protectors. Noah tried to sit up, but pain shot through his body. A guard stepped forward, her expression unreadable. "The human awakens," she said in accented English. She didn't sound friendly or unfriendly, just stating a fact. Before Noah could respond, the circle of guards parted. Princess Zilia stepped through, and Noah's breath caught in his throat. She looked different now. Her clothes were even more elaborate, with flowing layers and symbols that seemed to move on their own. A circlet of what looked like living metal sat on her head. Her skin shimmered with a beautiful rose gold color. "Lieutenant Commander Winters," she said, using his full title. "You have done something no outsider has ever done before. You saved my life at risk to your own. Our laws are very clear about what happens next." Noah wasn't sure what to say. His training hadn't covered alien royal protocol after saving a princess. "I was just doing my job, Your Highness," he managed to say. "No thanks needed." The princess's skin flickered briefly with what might have been amusement. "I am not thanking you, human. I am telling you your new position." She gestured to the guards around them. "By our oldest laws, one who saves royal blood becomes bound to the crown as protector. You are now part of my personal guard." Noah stared in shock. "But my ship, my duties. I'm an Earth naval officer." "We have already spoken with your leaders," another guard said flatly. "It has been settled. You belong to the princess now." Noah looked from one alien face to another, searching for some sign this was a joke or a misunderstanding. He found none. Only 7 stern royal guards and a princess whose galaxy eyes watched him with intense interest. He was surrounded, and his life would never be the same again. Noah spent his first week on the Valerian royal ship, feeling like he was in a dream. Everything was strange. The walls seemed alive, changing color based on who was near them. The floors adjusted to make walking easier. Food appeared from slots in the wall when he was hungry, somehow always knowing what he wanted. But strangest of all was his new job. He was now part of Princess Zelia's royal guard. The other guards didn't seem happy about it. "You are weak," said Lena, the head guard with sharp features and skin that stayed mostly orange. "Humans break easily. How can you protect the princess?" Noah didn't argue. He just worked harder. Every morning he trained with the guards. Valerians were naturally stronger than humans, but Noah was quick and smart. He learned their fighting style and adapted his own. The royal guard consisted of 7 female Valerians. Each had served since childhood. Each would die for the princess without hesitation. They watched Noah constantly, waiting for him to fail. Only one guard, Kara, showed any kindness. She was younger than the others, with skin that often shifted to curious greens and blues. "I studied Earth cultures before the contact," she told Noah during training. "Humans are fascinating. You live such short lives but accomplish so much." Through Kara, Noah learned more about Valerian society. Their species lived for hundreds of years. They valued art and science equally. And most importantly, Princess Zilia's position was not secure. "She is the first female heir in 10 generations, Kara explained as they practiced with energy staffs. "Some believe the throne should pass to her uncle, Duke Thravex, instead. Is that who tried to kill her at the meeting?" Noah asked. Kara's skin paled. "We don't know for certain, but many think the bomb was not placed by anti-human groups as claimed." Noah saw the princess rarely during that first week. She attended diplomatic meetings and royal functions. He stood guard outside her chambers at night, but they barely spoke. That changed on the 8th day, when the princess summoned him to her private study. The room was beautiful. One entire wall was transparent, showing the stars outside. Strange plants grew from the ceiling, their flowers glowing softly. Princess Zelia sat at a desk made of the same living crystal as the medical bay. "Lieutenant Commander Winters," she said when he entered. "Please sit." Noah sat across from her, feeling awkward in his new Valerian Guard uniform. It was made of a material that moved like liquid but protected like armor. "You may call me Noah, Your Highness," he said. The princess studied him, her galaxy eyes taking in every detail. "Noah," she said, as if testing the name. "And you will call me Zelia when we are alone. I did not bring you here to stand silently in corners." Noah was surprised. "Then why did you bring me here?" "The truth, please." Zelia's skin shifted to a thoughtful blue. "Because you are unpredictable. You are human. When the bomb was about to explode, all my Valerian guards moved according to their training, to get me to safety. But you," she leaned forward, "you threw yourself over me using your own body as a shield. No Valerian would think to do that." "It was instinct," Noah said simply. "Exactly." Zelia stood and walked to the star window. "My position is dangerous, Noah. There are those who do not wish to see me take the throne. They expect Valerian responses. They know how to counter Valerian tactics. But you," she turned to face him, "you are the variable they cannot predict." Noah understood then. He wasn't just a guard, he was a secret weapon. "I need you to teach my royal guard to think differently," Zelia continued, "and I need you to protect me in ways my enemies won't expect." "I'll do my best, Your Highness." "Zelia," Noah said, "but the other guards don't exactly welcome my input." Zelia smiled, her skin rippling with gold. "They will learn. Now tell me about Earth, tell me about you. I wish to understand humans better." For hours they talked. Noah told her about growing up in Colorado, about joining the Navy, about Earth's oceans and mountains. Zelia spoke of Valerian art, of planets she had visited, of the weight of becoming the first empress in 500 years. From that day, things changed. Noah still trained with the guards, but now he also led sessions, teaching them human tactics. He joined the princess at diplomatic functions, watching the reactions of Valerian nobles when they saw a human in royal guard armor. Some were curious. Some were disgusted. All were surprised. "They underestimate you," Kara said after one such event. "That is an advantage." Noah's relationship with the other guards slowly improved. Lena still watched him with suspicion, but she respected his combat skills. The others began asking questions about Earth, about human warfare, about his life before. 2 weeks after Noah joined the Royal Guard, Princess Zelia announced she would visit the Valerian homeworld. It would be Noah's first time on an alien planet. The royal ship traveled through what Valerians called a fold in space. One moment they were near the neutral station. The next they were orbiting a beautiful blue-green world with 3 moons. "Welcome to Valeria," Zelia said as they prepared to descend. "Home of my people for 10,000 years." The capital city was built into a mountain range, towers of crystal and living metal rising between peaks. The landing pad extended from the side of the tallest tower, overlooking a valley of strange, colorful plants. "Beautiful," Noah whispered as they stepped off the ship. A welcoming committee waited, Valerian nobles in elaborate clothes, their skin shifting through formal patterns of blue and purple, royal attendants with silver circlets. And at the center, an older male Valerian with a crown similar to Zelia's but larger. "The king," Kara whispered to Noah. "The princess's father." Noah stood straighter. The king's eyes, the same galaxy pattern as his daughter's, moved to Noah and narrowed slightly. "Daughter," the king said in the musical Valerian language. "Welcome home." Zelia bowed her head respectfully. "Father, may I present Lieutenant Commander Noah Winters of Earth. He saved my life during the diplomatic incident. He now serves in my royal guard." The king studied Noah. "A human guard? This is unprecedented." "Many things about my reign will be unprecedented, Father," Zelia replied calmly. The king's skin shifted to a cautious yellow, but he nodded. "Very well. Come, the welcoming ceremony awaits." They processed through the crystal city. Valerian citizens lined the streets, watching with curious eyes as the human guard walked among the royal guard. Noah felt their stares but kept his focus on possible threats. The procession moved into a grand hall inside the mountain. Thousands of Valerians filled tiered seating around a central platform. The king and princess took their places on ornate thrones. The royal guard, including Noah, stood behind them. As the ceremony began, Noah scanned the crowd. Something felt wrong. His human instincts, the same ones that had warned him about the bomb, were tingling. A Valyrian noble was speaking, welcoming the princess home. Noah's eyes moved systematically through the crowd. Then he spotted it, a slight distortion in the air near a balcony. It was almost invisible, but Noah's human eyes caught what Valyrian eyes might miss. It was a cloaking device. Earth had been developing similar technology. And behind that cloak was the barrel of some kind of weapon, aimed directly at Princess Zelia. Noah didn't hesitate. As the noble finished speaking and Zelia stood to address the crowd, Noah lunged forward, tackling her to the ground. A beam of energy cut through the space where she had been standing. It hit the throne, melting part of it instantly. Chaos erupted. The royal guard formed a protective circle. Lena pulled out her energy weapon and fired at the balcony. There was a cry, and a cloaked figure became visible as its device failed. Security forces swarmed the balcony, capturing the would-be assassin. Meanwhile, Noah helped Zelia to her feet. "Are you hurt?" he asked urgently. She shook her head, her skin pale with shock. "How did you know?" None of the others saw the threat. "Human eyes see differently," Noah said simply. "I noticed the distortion from the cloaking device." The king approached, his guards surrounding him. "Daughter, are you unharmed?" "Thanks to my human guard," Zelia said, her hand still gripping Noah's arm. He saw what our security missed. The king looked at Noah with new respect. "It seems your unprecedented choice was wise, daughter." To Noah, he said, "You have saved the heir to the throne twice now. The crown is in your debt." That night, after security had been doubled and the assassin taken for questioning, Zelia summoned Noah to her private chambers in the palace. She stood by a window overlooking the glowing city. Her skin was shifting through thoughtful blues and purples. "The assassin was working for my uncle," she said without turning. "Duke Thravix makes his move earlier than expected." "What will happen now?" Noah asked, standing beside her. Zelia turned to face him. "Now we prepare for conflict. Thravix will not stop with one failed attempt." Her galaxy eyes met his. "I need you, Noah, not just as a guard, but as an advisor. You see things differently. You act differently. That saved my life today. I'll serve however you need me," Noah said. Zelia's skin shifted to a warm gold. The ancient prophecies speak of a guardian from beyond the stars who would protect the first empress. "For centuries, my people thought it was just a story." She smiled slightly. Perhaps they were wrong. As Noah looked out at the alien city, he realized how far he had come from his simple assignment on the royal palace buzzed with activity in the days following the assassination attempt. Security was tightened. Every visitor was checked 3 times. The royal guard never left Princess Zelia's side. Noah found himself suddenly respected by the other guards. Even Lena nodded to him when they passed in the hallways. "You have keen eyes, human," she told him during training. "Perhaps there is value in your different perspective." Noah was given access to Valyrian security systems. He spent hours learning how they worked, looking for weaknesses that Thravix might exploit. Earth military thinking was different from Valyrian tactics. Noah saw patterns and problems the Valyrians missed. "Your people rely too much on technology," he explained to Kara as they reviewed palace defenses. "You need backup systems that don't require power or computer control." Kara's skin shifted to curious green. "Like what?" "Simple locks. Physical barriers. Things that can't be hacked." Noah pointed to a door on the security display. "This entrance to the princess's chambers has an electronic lock that could be disabled during a power failure. You need a physical bolt as backup." Kara made notes, her expression thoughtful. "These are old ideas to us, but perhaps old ideas have value." The assassin's interrogation revealed troubling news. Duke Thravix had been building support among conservative nobles for months. Many believed a female should not take the throne, despite Zelia being the rightful heir. "Tradition is important to Valyrians," Zelia explained to Noah during one of their evening meetings. "No female has ruled in 10 generations. Some see my succession as breaking tradition." "But you are the king's only child," Noah said. "Surely the bloodline matters more than gender." Zelia's skin rippled with sad blues. "Logic does not always win against fear of change. My uncle plays on that fear." Noah learned that Valyrian succession required a formal ceremony at the Temple of Ages. The king was ill, weakening daily. Soon Zelia would need to travel to the sacred temple to receive the crown officially. The journey is dangerous, Kara told Noah as they prepared for the trip. The temple lies in the mountains far from the city. It will be hard to protect her there. Then we'll be extra careful, Noah replied. The night before they were to leave for the temple, Noah was summoned to a meeting with the king. He had spoken to the Valyrian monarch only briefly since arriving on the planet. He felt nervous as he entered the royal chambers. The king sat in a simple chair near a window. He looked frailer than when Noah had first seen him. His skin was pale, its colors shifting slowly. "Lieutenant Commander Winters," the king said. "Please sit." Noah sat across from him, back straight, hands on his knees. "My daughter speaks highly of you," the king continued. "She says you see threats others miss, that you think differently." "I just do my best to protect her, Your Majesty," Noah said. The king studied him with those galaxy eyes so like his daughter's. "You know our situation is precarious. My brother Thravex has always wanted the throne. Now he uses tradition as an excuse to take what is not his. Princess Zelia will be a great leader," Noah said firmly. "Anyone who spends time with her can see that." The king's skin shifted to a pleased gold. "Yes, but not everyone has spent time with her as you have." He leaned forward. "I fear the journey to the Temple of Ages. Thravex will make his move there, away from the palace security. We're preparing for every possibility," Noah assured him. "I'm sure you are." The king picked up a small box from a table beside him. "But I would give you one more tool for her protection." He opened the box. Inside was a small device similar to a wristband. It glowed with soft blue light. "This is a royal beacon," the king explained. "It has not been used in centuries. If activated, it sends a signal to every loyal Valyrian ship and soldier. They are bound by ancient oath to respond no matter the circumstances." He handed the box to Noah. "I entrust this to you, not to any Valyrian guard. Use it only in the most dire need. It can be activated only once." Noah accepted the box, feeling the weight of the responsibility. "I understand, Your Majesty. I'll keep it safe until it's needed." "See that my daughter reaches the temple safely," the king said. "The future of our people depends on it." The next morning, the royal procession left the palace. Princess Zelia traveled in a floating transport surrounded by her royal guard. Noah stayed close to her, the king's beacon hidden under his armor. The journey to the Temple of Ages would take 2 days, traveling through mountain passes and forests. The first day passed without incident. They camped in a valley, security drones patrolling the perimeter. Noah couldn't sleep. Something felt wrong. He checked and rechecked the security systems but found nothing amiss. "You are troubled," Princess Zelia said, approaching him at the edge of the camp. Her skin was calm blue in the moonlight. "Just being cautious," Noah replied. "These mountains would be perfect for an ambush." Zelia looked up at the peaks surrounding them. "My uncle knows these lands well. He hunted here as a youth." "All the more reason to be alert," Noah said. Zelia touched his arm gently. "I trust you, Noah, more than any other. If anyone can see us safely to the temple, it is you." Her touch sent a strange warmth through him. Noah had been fighting an uncomfortable truth for weeks now. He was attracted to the alien princess. Not just physically, though her otherworldly beauty was undeniable. He admired her intelligence, her courage, her determination to lead despite opposition. Such feelings were impossible, of course. She was royalty. He was a human guard, and yet, "Get some rest, Your Highness," he said softly. "Tomorrow will be challenging." Zelia's skin rippled with colors Noah hadn't seen before. Soft pinks and gentle purples. "As you wish, my guardian." She returned to her quarters. Dawn broke clear and cold. The procession continued its journey, climbing higher into the mountains. The path narrowed, with steep drops on one side and towering cliffs on the other. "Perfect place for an attack," Noah muttered to Kara as they walked beside the princess's transport. "Our scanners detect nothing," she replied, but her hand rested on her weapon. They were halfway through the pass when Noah heard it, a faint whistling sound. His Earth military training recognized it immediately. "Incoming," he shouted, diving toward the princess's transport. Artillery fire. The first explosion hit the cliff above them, sending rocks crashing down. The Royal Guard moved with practiced precision, surrounding the transport, energy shields activating. Noah reached Zelia just as a second explosion rocked the path. The transport tipped dangerously toward the edge. "We need to get her out," he yelled to Lena. Together they pulled open the door. Celia was inside, her skin pale with fear but her expression determined. "This way, Your Highness," Noah said, helping her from the damaged transport. More explosions followed. Part of the path crumbled away. Through the dust and chaos, Noah saw figures moving on the cliffs above, soldiers in unfamiliar armor. Thravex's forces, Lena spat, firing her weapon upward. The royal guard formed a protective ring around Zelia. They returned fire, but were dangerously exposed on the narrow path. "We need cover," Noah shouted over the noise of battle. He spotted a cave entrance in the cliff face. "There, move to the cave." They fought their way forward, energy weapons firing, rocks still falling around them. 2 of the royal guard fell, hit by enemy fire. Noah kept close to Zelia, shielding her with his body when necessary. They reached the cave entrance. Kara and Lena went in first, checking for threats. Noah and the remaining guards kept Zelia protected as they backed toward safety. Just as they reached the entrance, a large explosion hit directly above. The mountainside seemed to shake. Massive boulders broke free, tumbling toward them. "Inside now." Noah pushed Zelia through the entrance. He turned to help the last guard, but it was too late. Rocks crashed down, blocking the cave entrance, separating them from the others outside. Dust filled the air. Noah coughed, trying to see through the darkness. "Princess? Kara? Lena?" "Here," came Xylia's voice. A moment later, a soft glow illuminated the cave. She held a small light device. In its glow, Noah saw Kara and Lena dusty but alive. "The others?" Lena asked grimly. Noah shook his head. "Caught outside when the rocks fell. I don't know if they survived. They were trapped, just the 4 of them in a cave with enemies outside." Noah checked his communicator. No signal could penetrate the thick rock. "The temple is still a day's journey away," Celia said, her voice steady despite the situation, "and my uncle's forces stand between us and our destination." "Can we go deeper into the cave?" Noah asked. "Maybe find another way out?" Kara consulted a device on her wrist. "These mountains are full of caves and tunnels. It's possible this one connects to a larger system." "Then that's our path," Xylia decided. Forward through the mountain, they moved deeper into the cave. The princess's light showed a tunnel stretching ahead, sloping downward. They walked in silence, alert for any sounds of pursuit. After an hour, the tunnel opened into a larger cavern. Strange crystals grew from the walls and ceiling, glowing faintly with inner light. "Light crystals," Kara explained when Noah asked. "They grow naturally in Valeria's mountains." The crystals provided enough light to see. The cavern was beautiful, with underground pools of clear water and formations of colorful minerals. "We should rest here," Lena suggested, "recover our strength before continuing." Noah ran through the crystal tunnels, the voices of Thravex's soldiers close behind him. His Valerian armor made soft sounds as he moved, the material adjusting to his movements. He held the princess's pendant tightly in one hand. "This way." "The signal is stronger here," a voice called out in Valerian. Noah had learned enough of the language to understand. He needed to put more distance between himself and the soldiers. The tunnels branched in multiple directions. Noah chose paths randomly, hoping to confuse his pursuers. After what felt like hours, the voices faded. Noah stopped to catch his breath in a small cavern filled with glowing blue crystals. He checked his communicator again. Still no signal. He was completely cut off. "Now what?" he muttered to himself. He studied his surroundings. The crystal light revealed 3 tunnel exits from the cavern. Noah had no way of knowing which might lead to the surface or the temple. He chose the one that seemed to slope upward. The tunnel narrowed as he climbed. In some places, Noah had to squeeze through tight spaces. The air grew fresher, which gave him hope. He must be getting closer to the surface. Suddenly, the tunnel opened into a massive cavern. Unlike the others, this one showed signs of Valerian construction. Stone pillars carved with strange symbols supported the high ceiling. At the center stood a pool of glowing liquid. "The sacred pools," Noah whispered, recognizing it from Zelia's descriptions. The Temple of Ages was built around several such pools, said to connect directly to the planet's core energy. He had found his way into the temple from below. Noah moved carefully, staying in shadows. If this was part of the temple, there might be guards, either loyal to the crown or to Thravex. He couldn't be sure who controlled the temple now. As he crept along the edge of the cavern, Noah heard voices. He ducked behind a pillar just as two Valerian guards walked past, their armor different from the royal guards, simpler, with ancient-looking symbols. Temple guards, Noah realized. According to Xylia, the temple guards served the sacred site itself, not any royal faction. They might be neutral in the conflict. Noah waited until the guards passed, then continued through the cavern. He found stairs carved into the rock, leading upward. At the top was a door made of some metal Noah didn't recognize. He placed his hand on the door, unsure if it would open for a human. To his surprise, it slid aside silently. Beyond was a corridor lit by more crystal lights, its walls covered in Valerian writing. Noah moved quietly through the temple. He needed to find Xylia, if she had made it here, or find a way to contact her. The pendant she had given him hung around his neck now. He hoped it would prevent temple guards from attacking him on sight. The corridor opened into a large hall. Valerian tapestries hung on the walls, showing scenes from their history. The room was empty, but Noah heard activity from beyond another doorway. He approached cautiously and peered through. What he saw made his heart race. Princess Xylia stood in a circular chamber, surrounded by temple guards and priests in flowing robes. She was alive and apparently unharmed. Kara and Lena stood nearby, still protecting her. They had made it to the temple, but something was wrong. The expressions of the temple officials were grave. Xylia's skin was shifting through colors of distress, pale whites and anxious purples. "Cannot proceed without the royal seal," one of the priests was saying. "The succession ceremony requires it. It has been the law for 10,000 years. My father gave his seal to the royal courier," Xylia replied. "They should have arrived days ago." "No courier has come," the priest said. "Without the seal, we cannot recognize you as the rightful heir. If another claimant arrives with the seal—" "My uncle," Xylia said bitterly. "You speak of Duke Thravex," the priest bowed slightly. "I speak only of our sacred law, princess. Whoever bears the royal seal has the right to claim the throne." Noah understood the problem immediately. Thravex must have intercepted the royal courier carrying the king's seal. Without it, Xylia could not be crowned. And if Thravex arrived with the seal? Noah stepped into the room. All eyes turned to him. Temple guards raised their weapons. "He is under my protection," Xylia said quickly. The guards lowered their weapons but watched Noah suspiciously. "Your Highness," Noah bowed. "I see you made it safely." Xylia's skin rippled with relief. "Noah, I feared you were lost in the caverns." "I found my way through," he said. "But I overheard your conversation." "Thravex has the royal seal?" "We believe so," Kara answered. "The courier never arrived, and our sources report Duke Thravex is on his way to the temple now with a large force." "How much time do we have?" Noah asked. "Hours at most," Lena said grimly. "Not enough time to return to the palace for help." Noah's mind raced. He had sworn to protect Xylia, to help her claim her rightful throne. There had to be a solution. "The royal beacon," he said suddenly. "What beacon?" Xylia asked. Noah reached into his damaged armor and pulled out the small device the king had given him. "Your father entrusted this to me before we left. He said it would summon every loyal Valerian soldier and ship if activated." The priests gasped. One stepped forward, his skin pale with shock. "The royal beacon of calling," he whispered. "It has not been used in centuries. Only the king can authorize its use." "My father gave this to you?" Xylia asked Noah, her galaxy eyes wide. Noah nodded. "He feared something like this might happen. He said to use it only in the most dire need." "This qualifies," Lena said dryly. Xylia looked at the beacon, then at the priest. "Will this override the need for the royal seal? If the beacon summons the loyal forces, they will support my claim." The priest hesitated. "The beacon is even older than the seal tradition. Its use would complicate matters, meaning Thravex could still dispute the succession," Kara translated. "But it would give us forces to defend the temple until the situation is resolved," Noah pointed out. "Right now we're outnumbered." Xylia was silent for a moment, her skin shifting through thoughtful blues. Finally she nodded. "Activate it," she ordered. Noah pressed the center of the device. It glowed brightly, then projected a symbol into the air, the royal crest of Valeria. A high, clear tone rang out, seeming to pass through walls and beyond. "It is done," the priest said solemnly. "The call has gone out to all loyal Valerians, but it will take time for them to respond. Then we prepare to defend the temple until they arrive," Xylia said. She turned to the head priest. Will the temple guard stand with us? The old Valerian bowed. The Temple of Ages has always stood with the rightful ruler. While the succession is disputed, we will protect the sacred site itself from conflict. We cannot take sides, but neither will we allow bloodshed within these walls. Fair enough, Noah said. How many entrances are there? 4 above ground, Kara answered. Plus the cavern passages below. Threvex's forces already know about the caves, Noah reminded them. They followed us there. Then we must secure the underground entrance first, Lena decided. They worked quickly, placing temple guards at each entrance. Though the guards would not fight for either royal faction, they would prevent armed forces from entering the sacred site. Noah, Kara, and Lena prepared defensive positions within the temple, in case the guards failed. Azilia remained in the central chamber with the priests, preparing for the ceremony even without the seal. Do you think the beacon will bring enough forces in time? Kara asked Noah as they secured a side entrance. I hope so, Noah replied. The king seemed to think it would. Valerian ships are fast, Lena added. If any were near this system, they could arrive within hours. A temple guard rushed in. Duke Threvex's forces have been spotted approaching the main entrance. He demands to be allowed inside to present his claim to the throne. Noah, Kara, and Lena exchanged glances. It begins, Lena said grimly. They moved to the main entrance hall. Through the open doors, Noah could see a large force assembled outside. At their head stood a Valerian male who resembled the king, but with harder features and skin that shifted through aggressive reds and oranges. Duke Thravex had arrived. The temple's head priest stepped forward to address him. Duke Thravex, you come with armed forces to a sacred site. This violates our traditions. I come to claim my rightful place, Thravex replied, his voice deep and commanding. I bear the royal seal. He held up a small object that glinted in the light. The princess is already here preparing for the succession ceremony, the priest said. Thravex's skin darkened with anger. A ceremony that cannot proceed without this. He held up the seal again. By law, I have the right to present my claim. The priest nodded reluctantly. You may enter with 2 attendants only. Your forces must remain outside. Thravex seemed to consider this, then nodded. Agreed. Noah watched tensely as the Duke and 2 guards entered the temple. Thravex's eyes found him immediately. A human in Valerian armor, Thravex said with disgust. My niece's pet, I presume. Noah didn't respond. His Earth military training had taught him to remain professional in the face of provocation. Take me to Zelia, Thravex demanded of the priest. They proceeded to the central chamber. Zelia stood by the ceremonial pool, her posture regal despite the circumstances. Her skin was calm blue, betraying no fear. Uncle, she said coolly, you dishonor our family with your actions. I protect our traditions, Thravex countered. A female has not ruled in 10 generations. There is a reason for that. The royal palace was in mourning. 3 days after Xylia's return from the Temple of Ages, the king passed peacefully into what Valerians called the Great Beyond. His funeral was grand but solemn, with representatives from all Valerian colonies attending. Noah stood at Xylia's side throughout the ceremony, now officially titled Royal Protector, a position created especially for him. The other royal guards had accepted this with surprising grace. Even Lena seemed to respect Noah's unique role. The king was wise to trust you, she told Noah after the funeral. Your human ways saved our empress twice. Perhaps there is wisdom in other species we have overlooked. The weeks following the coronation were busy. Empress Xylia had to consolidate her power, meeting with noble houses and colonial leaders. Noah attended these meetings, offering insights when asked but mostly observing. Most Valerians accepted Xylia's rule, especially after the formal coronation. But a faction loyal to Thravex remained defiant. From his prison cell, the former duke still managed to spread dissent. We should execute him and be done with it, Lena suggested during a security briefing. No, Zelia said firmly. Executing my uncle would only make him a martyr. His supporters would have a rallying point. What will you do with him then? Noah asked. Xylia's skin shifted through thoughtful blues. Exile to our furthest colony. Under guard but alive. His supporters will see mercy rather than vengeance, Noah nodded appreciatively. Smart. It shows strength and wisdom rather than fear. Zelia smiled at him, her galaxy eyes warm. I learned something from you, Noah. Sometimes the unexpected approach is best. Their relationship had grown complex. Noah was more than a guard now. He was a trusted advisor, a confidant, and perhaps something more, though neither spoke of it directly. There were moments when Zelia's skin would shift to those unique pinks and purples when they were alone. Colors Noah had come to recognize as special. 1 month after the coronation, Zelia summoned Noah to her private study. She stood by the star window looking troubled. "What's wrong?" Noah asked. "Duke Thravex has escaped," she said without preamble. The ship taking him to exile was attacked. His supporters freed him. Noah felt a chill. "Do we know where he went?" "Not yet." Zelia turned to face him. "But there's more. Before his escape, he sent messages to conservative factions throughout our colonies. He claims that humans, specifically you, have corrupted the royal bloodline, that your influence over me makes my rule illegitimate." "That's ridiculous," Noah said. "I'm just an advisor." Zelia's skin rippled with concern. Many Valyrians fear outside influence. Our society has been isolated for centuries. The contact with Earth was already controversial. Now Thravex uses you to stoke those fears. Before Noah could respond, a royal messenger entered after a quick knock. "Empress, urgent news. A fleet of ships has appeared at the edge of our system. They bear Duke Thravex's personal insignia." Zelia's skin paled. "How many ships?" 20 warships, Empress, and they are on course for Earth." Noah felt his blood run cold. "Earth? Why would Thravex go to Earth?" "A diversion," Zelia said grimly. "Or worse, he means to eliminate human influence by attacking its source." She turned to the messenger. "Order our royal fleet to intercept. I want Thravex stopped before he reaches Earth space." "At once, Empress." The messenger bowed and left. Zelia looked at Noah, her expression serious. "I must go with the fleet." "What?" "No, it's too dangerous," Noah protested. "I must," Zelia insisted. "This is my responsibility. Thravex is my uncle, his grievance is with me. I will not hide in the palace while he threatens your world." Noah saw the determination in her galaxy eyes and knew arguing was pointless. "Then I'm coming with you." "I was counting on it," Zelia replied with a small smile. Within hours, the royal flagship was ready for departure. Zelia brought only her most trusted advisors and guards. The ship was the most advanced in the Valyrian fleet, capable of multiple spacefolds to catch up with Thravex. Noah stood on the bridge beside Zelia as they departed. The ship accelerated away from Valeria, preparing for its first fold. "How long until we reach Earth?" Noah asked Kara, who was operating the navigation systems. "If we make 3 consecutive folds, we can intercept Thravex's fleet before they reach your solar system," she replied. "Approximately 12 Earth hours," Noah nodded. 12 hours to prepare for a confrontation that could determine the fate of 2 worlds. Zelia spent the journey reviewing battle plans with her commanders. Valyrian warfare was different from Earth military tactics. Their ships focused on energy shields and precision weapons designed to disable, rather than destroy. "Thravex will not be so restrained," Lena warned during a strategy session. "He has outfitted his ships with more destructive weapons. Our spies confirmed this before his escape." "Then we must be smarter, faster," Zelia said. She turned to Noah. "Your perspective may be valuable here. How would Earth forces handle such a situation?" Noah thought for a moment. Earth navies often use asymmetric tactics when outnumbered or facing superior firepower. Hit-and-run attacks, targeting propulsion systems to immobilize rather than attempting to destroy outright. The Valyrian commanders looked skeptical, but Zelia nodded. "Continue." "Thravex expects Valyrian tactics. Formation-based, protocol-driven," Noah explained. "If we do something unexpected, we gain advantage." "Like when you saw the cloaked assassin at the ceremony?" Kara noted. "You looked where no Valyrian would think to look." "Exactly," Noah said. "Unpredictability can overcome superior numbers." The commanders began to see merit in this approach. They modified their battle plans, incorporating elements of human naval tactics with Valyrian technology. 8 hours into the journey, sensors detected Thravex's fleet. They were still on course for Earth, moving fast. "They've detected us," a sensor operator reported. "They're changing formation." "Open a communication channel," Zelia ordered. After a moment, Duke Thravex's face appeared on the main screen. His skin was dark with anger and determination. "Niece," he said coldly, "come to witness my victory? Turn your fleet around, Uncle. Celia replied calmly. This path leads only to your destruction. Thravex laughed. My destruction? I have 20 warships. You brought, what, 5? 6? Your human pet has made you overconfident. This is your final warning, Zelia said. Return to Valerian space for a proper trial or face the consequences. The consequence will be the end of human influence on our people, Thravex snarled. Starting with their homeworld. The communication ended. Zelia looked at Noah, her skin showing resolve rather than fear. We tried diplomacy, she said. Now we fight. The battle began at the edge of Earth's solar system. Thravex's 20 ships against Zelia's 7. The odds seemed impossible, but Noah had seen Zelia overcome impossible odds before. The royal flagship moved into position. Instead of the traditional Valerian formation, they used an Earth-inspired strategy, splitting their smaller force to attack from multiple vectors. Targeting their propulsion systems, Kara reported, following Noah's suggestion. The first exchange of fire was intense. Energy weapons lanced through space. Shields flared as they absorbed impacts. 2 of Thravex's ships were immediately disabled, their engines destroyed by precision strikes. It's working, Lena said with surprise, but Thravex adapted quickly. His remaining ships formed a defensive sphere, making it harder to target specific systems. He's still moving toward Earth, a navigator warned, slower but advancing. Zelia's skin darkened with determination. We need a new approach. Noah studied the tactical display. His formation protects against external attacks, but what about from inside? Explain, Zelia prompted. If one ship could get inside that defensive sphere, it could attack multiple targets before they could reposition, Noah said. A single ship would be destroyed quickly, a commander objected. Not if it was small and fast, Noah countered. Like a royal shuttle, Zelia understood immediately. You want to take a shuttle into the heart of Thravex's fleet? I do, Noah confirmed. With a small team, hit-and-run attacks from inside their formation. Suicide, Lena stated flatly. High risk, Noah acknowledged. But Thravex wouldn't expect it. No Valerian commander would sacrifice a ship this way. Which is exactly why it might work, Zelia said. Her galaxy eyes met Noah's. But I cannot ask you to take such a risk. You're not asking, Noah replied. I'm volunteering. Zelia was quiet for a moment, her skin shifting through concerned colors. Finally, she nodded. Prepare a shuttle. Lena, Kara, select 4 more guards for the mission. You'll need to create a diversion, Noah told the fleet commander. Something to draw their attention while we slip inside their formation. The plan came together quickly. Noah, Kara, Lena, and 4 elite guards boarded a royal shuttle. Small, fast, and equipped with basic weapons systems. The shuttle's engines were modified for extra speed at the cost of endurance. Once inside their formation, target their command ships, Zelia instructed as they prepared to launch. Disable their weapons first, propulsion second, Noah nodded. Before he could board the shuttle, Zelia pulled him aside. Return safely, she said softly. That is a royal command. I'll do my best, Your Majesty, Noah replied with a small smile. Zelia's skin shifted to those special pinks and purples. She touched his face gently. We have much to discuss when this is over.